Oh, that was lovely, Rohit. So, as the mic is all with Jayant, you could start. Practical applications of virtual production. That's what the topic is, right? Everyone wants to know the practical applications, how best to use it, what best to use it for, and everything. So, Jayant, please give us some insights of how you at Famous play with virtual production.
So see, right now what happened is we've been experimenting with virtual production since what 2020. In fact, from since 20. Can you hear me? Sorry, huh? Since 2020, we've been experimenting with virtual production. Right now, I would say we are actually educating all our clients of how to use it, because every client comes with some 10,000 questions of how to do this, what is the budget, what are the ways of doing it, how much time it will take, will it help us in reducing costs. So there are multiple factors which right now are the main issues that we are facing right now with most of the clients. But thankfully, we've been able to execute a lot of projects for ad films. And as compared to feature films, because in advertising, the clients, I think, give us more opportunity to play with visuals. It is one place where I think we've been able to successfully implement the virtual production pipeline for us. I wouldn't say it's like doing a lot of projects we are doing, but there's a decent success rate that we are getting.
Rohit, up to you. You guys can use this.
So yeah, similar thing. People are coming. They are doing the demo shoots, test shoots. So far we did around 15 to 20 shoots, including 2D plates, 3D plates. We are teaching DOPs. They are coming, doing the test shoot. Let's say people are coming, 70, 80 people are coming. Then at least if one or two people are coming and doing the shoots. So we are showcasing the demos, doing the test shoots, mainly teaching people.
So, but you are executing at the same time live projects too, right?
Sorry?
You are executing live projects also.
Yeah. So we have another flows for the live projects, right?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And do you see a spillover of those live projects to your stage?
Like if there are shoot is going on, the DOPs and director would love to see the stage, then they are coming with the DOPs for the test shoots and all.
I think that's an advantage of having a live shoots, like even for Jayant, right? Like Famous has a big shooting floor.
Yeah.
So, Vivek, you as a tech company, I know you don't have a stage and you generally work on the tech side of virtual production. So please enlighten us about.
So for us, sticking to the topic of practical applications of virtual production. So for us, it's mainly been, we do get clients who come for sequences. In movies especially, we are a complete Unreal Engine, but only digital productions. We don't do any live action content. And we are 100% betting only on digital humans. So we don't do any live action content. For us, the way clients come is like only if there is a stunt sequence or a chase sequence or like something like that is when entertainment industry approaches us. Or else we have clients in aerospace sector, defense sector, who come for like, let's say, satellite visualization and things like that. We are good in aerospace market, work closely with space industry in India and abroad. So our whole client base is only digital productions in part of entertainment, but pretty much on the defense and aerospace sector.
That's pretty interesting, right? Because that's something that we don't do much in media and entertainment. So you are in a different zone. So do you see a practical implication of virtual production tech in aerospace and defense?
Yes, very much. Like, so if you think about this problem statement, everybody is looking for, India is becoming a product economy right now. Everybody wants to make products in every industry, medical industry, healthcare sector, or anywhere. But every product can reach the world only if there's a great video that's backing it, all right? So everybody wants content, but all these days it was very expensive. Visual effects was considered very expensive for all those product companies to enter into this bandwagon of great content. So now these days they're all opening up because the cost of production is like little lesser right now. And then what's happening is for all the same product companies, they want the AR, VR part of it as well after the virtual production shoot or video product comes out. So because it's game engine content and it's 3D real-time content, it can expand into other domains also. So that's how everybody is seeing it, and that's how we are also seeing it.
Oh, thanks, Vivek. Prajay, up to you now.
Yeah, okay. I'll throw a different light into this whole virtual production stuff because when when I was approached by Ramoji, we have Shabir here who handles the floor at Ramoji, you know, and the thing was to say, okay, guys, can you put up a nice LED stage up so that we can recreate Mandalorian again and apply it to all the movies that happens in India. And yeah, that was a nice project to be working on. But then we soon felt that the Indian productions were not really that ready to get in for an LED floor because there was a lot of pre-production that they have to do. And knowing the productions at the stage at which we are, the newer generation guys are well adapted. The directors know what the technology is. The DOPs know what the technology is. Then it makes the life much easier. And I'm sure my fellow members will, especially Rohit, will understand the pain of that because if the DOPs and if the HODs are not really involved they don't know much about it, it becomes very difficult to manage them on set. Because they'll have a different direction, they'll be thinking, they'll have a different mindset as to what they want, but what they're seeing will not really match. And so it's very important that they get to learn the production stuff. So for us, it's all been more of a learning experience, or rather teaching experience, where we have been literally making that industry understand how exactly this technology works, getting live. I'm sure, like what Rohit was mentioning, I'm sure he's been doing more training sessions than live work sessions, So and at whose cost? That also comes in. So we are lucky to have our studio set up at RFC because the folks are amazing. They help us, whenever there's a delegation coming in, they help us set it up, and then we show them how exactly the tech works and what is the pros and cons, make them understand that part. And I think it's just a matter of time before it really kicks off big, because there have been a lot of productions that we have been working on. So recently, even in RFC, we finished two movie projects. And on one of the projects, I still remember, I think these guys we did like 54 shots in a 14-hour shift with 4 location changes. So things like that, then people start thinking, all right, okay, now you're talking, it makes sense. And at what cost it's happening at, because for you to shoot those 4 locations, that for the production team would have taken 3-4 days in various parts of the city. And the cost involved to do that would also be quite expensive. And how that graph is monetizing with the graph that we already have in-house. And I think it makes a good case study. And we just need more and more these case studies to come up before the industry actually adopts it. In the West, it's not a problem because they have deep pockets. The production costs are quite high, so they can afford pre-production work. They can afford previous work. Right now, the movie budgets we are talking about, yeah, okay, I'm excluding all the big boys. The smaller projects we are talking about, it's all 4 CR, 5 CR projects. Now, if you want to do virtual production on a 5 CR project, what is that you're going to do? I think that's where that's the killer, because if you can go, at the base of the pyramid, then climbing up becomes quite easier.
Just for the benefit of the audience, I think I should have done this before. We have a mix tools of, Prajay runs a hybrid setup. You want to elaborate on what?
Yeah, so what we do is, we do have an LED setup, but our LED setup is only for the reflections, to cast the reflections on the foreground subjects. But the background, we still do use chroma. And the only reason we do that is because we believe that a lot of the DOPs know how to light up chroma stage. So, and then everybody knows the chroma pipeline very well. And what we are doing is we're just using Unreal to help restructure the pipeline in a way so that it becomes much easier for those guys to understand this. Only thing, okay, on an LED stage, maybe you'll get a live footage, you'll get the footage, a fully completed composited footage then and there. On a chroma one, you'll get it the next day. That's the only difference.
Rohit, about you, your setup, would you just like to say something?
So yeah, we are mainly doing the ICVFX in front of the LED wall. We don't have so far the live keying. Like we have 60 feet by 20 feet LED wall setup and running over 5 render nodes and 10 A6000 cards. And we have tested some AR test also, like getting the AR element in front of the wall. So that test we are doing because that can save a lot of cost in the art set. Yeah.
Jayant, what about you? So I bet you pop up stages when and how
So
the
for us,
requirement
it's
happens.
like a
right?
system. Whenever we have a project, we just get the LED and shoot. So what we do is, because we have so much, what we had done is like last 3 years, we experimented so much with different LEDs. And because I direct a lot of films, I have an idea of how things work. So it's easier for my fellow directors to explain them how things would work. And most of the time which these guys spent on explaining, training, that happens offline. And once they are convinced, we show them what we worked on, and then we get the LED and shoot everything for them. Because what happens in advertising, the scale of the LED keeps on changing from a smaller to bigger. And we tried blocking the studio space for some time, but it didn't work out for us. So mostly everything happens before the shoot offline, and then we get the LED to deliver the final product.
And Vivek, about you. So you, if you ever have a project that you would require virtual production, so you would be partnering with one of the stages and this.
Yes, usually, yeah, we'll be building either environments or backgrounds with those who have LED volumes or something, and then we would go with it. But that's been usually like small percentage of projects. But mostly for us, because it's a complete digital pipeline, we are mostly working on our own hardware and software pipelines, which the ultimate goal is, can we deliver 1,600 shots completely digital, is how we are thinking right now. And if it has to be completely digital, you have to be powered by extremely good software that can manage those pipelines. So that's where all of our effort is going on right now.
So you develop your own tool sets.
Yeah, we have made a
pipeline?
software over the last 4 years called as Movie Collab. It's similar to ShotGrid on F-Track, but meant for only real time. Like real-time filmmaking has its own viewpoint on how iterations should happen. The speed of iterations, the efficiency of information going from one artist to another artist. I feel it's like not a solved problem all the way from 2016. I've been observing the whole industry. So which is why we're just investing all of our time on understanding, okay, wherever there's a loophole in the pipeline, it should be like a car supply chain. That's how we are thinking. Every shot should be like a car supply chain. It should go around the process. It should deliver. And streamlining it.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting analogy, actually. I bet many agree to your process here. So, what is the best case scenarios that, like, the lowest hanging fruits when it comes to virtual production? What are the easiest one, which is like a no-brainer? You really don't have to convince the art director or the DOPs. You just know it. You can just pull it off.
So for us, frankly, car commercials, I'm saying in our industry, car commercials is something which is very easier for us to just pull off. We've done a couple of car commercials, and the clients are very happy. Not much of, I would say, setup where you want tracking and those heavy things. I think that is something, ICVFX is, I would say, is something which is the easiest, fastest, and not too much of work in it, I would say.
But do you go with pre-rendered plates, or you do you have a
Most of the
3D
time footage.
environment?
Most of the time you go with live footage. Most of the time.
So you shoot them
Yeah.
beforehand.
We shoot them
and-
or their stock footage. We also tried using Unreal, but somehow the footage that is shot actually works out much better.
Rohit?
So in our case, it's inverted. DOPs are comfortable with more 3D because it's easier to match the perspective. In 2D, you don't have 3D feeling and you don't have the camera tracking. So you have to do up and down, and manually you have to match it. In 3D, you have the proper tracking and you know where the camera is, where the virtual camera is. So the perspective between the real character, real set, and the virtual set will match. So that is a plus point.
Prajay, your take?
Yeah, for me, it is and it depends who is behind the camera. Okay, because it can be the easiest of the easiest shot or the most difficult. It depends who is actually behind, like who is the DOP or the director sitting behind, because ultimately they're the guys who call the shot and they feel what is nice, what is not nice. I concur with Rohit on, okay, yes, 3D is a very good one. It has to be 3D because you can get the depth, because most of the DOPs, they look for the, when they mount the lenses, they want to see the depth in it, and they want to get that part of it right. But what we've been doing is, the biggest challenge we have had is mostly on the color correction part of it. And how the foreground and the background you color correct so that you feel that you are in the environment. Certain in stages like the LED stages, it becomes a little bit much more easier because you have the surrounding panels. Although they don't emit much light to it, but at least you get some, especially if there's a car commercial like Jayan said, it makes things much easier. But if it is more difficult shot where you have a lot of foreground elements, you have more in-between elements where the talent has to move in between a couple of layers of background and foregrounds, and then and still you have another background layer that is that you're having, then it makes things much more difficult. So color correction in that part of the journey becomes super important. And
So do you do on-set color correction for your projects?
yeah, so what we have done is, I think our boys have been working, because although Unreal has its own tools and everything else, I think we have our own plugins, proprietary plugins that can do on-set color correction. And what we end up doing is that we use that X-Rite boards that that you normally get. So we have it on the live shoot. And whatever your Unreal is seeing when the feed comes into the Unreal Engine, then we kind of our software basically matches the Unreal's X-Rite digital twin to whatever is there on the camera captured one, and then it calculates the difference LUT, and then we apply that LUT in real time onto the feed that we have. So that way we kind of color correct it automatically. Normally, right now, this process is done using, you take it into DaVinci or some other software. You see, that's like a half an hour process for us. Now for us, it's like a couple of seconds. So these are some small innovations we keep doing at our end. But I'm sure at some point, Unreal might come back with 5.4, 5.5 now. That's one bad thing as well, because you guys innovate so fast, and the technology guys also have to keep up in pace with it. And that's very important, because I'm sure Rohit and Jayant will also concur that it's when something new comes up, then you need time to test it. And what the industry sees is they see nice footages in YouTube and they think it just happens in a flick of a second. Everything just works like that magically.
While we are talking about challenges, Vivek, what are your challenges in this?
Challenges, mainly like how he just mentioned, like YouTube tutorial. YouTube says marketing is different, but versus reality is different. But practically speaking, digital humans is where we are working on the challenges for us, especially because a lot of our content pipeline is going on face, body, finger capture pipeline. Solving for consistency and less artist work is like cleanup work is where the challenges that we are solving for right now. And I usually say filmmaking right now is only three things: characters, environments, and animation. So where are the challenges? Characters feels like a solved problem. Almost everything feels good right now. Environments, great, like life is good in environments. Photogrammetry, everything is there to support. Animation is where it's like the challenge, the pipeline of animation, the speed at which you can deliver good quality animation is where the challenges we are focusing on. It's again it's becoming a solved problem, but still there are hardships in how all the three layers of data can integrate with each other.
Interesting. Rohit, having one of the biggest stages in the country, I'm sure come with its own challenges.
So yeah, there are challenges. Hello? Yeah. So there are challenges in the content creation also, and there are challenges in the while shooting also. So I will cover while shooting. There are challenges like when the DOP want to do the quick pan, then sometimes the outer frustum will be visible, but that is not how it should be. So we need to increase the inner frustum size. That will make the quality lesser. Means what exactly it is doing it? It is scaling the size from like 1K to 2K. So you will get the pixelated output. For that we have to do the optimization. Before the set, this is how we are handling this challenge. Like if you are shooting at 24, so we make sure the asset is ready to run at 48. Then only we play it on the wall. So let's say we want to increase the quality or increase the resolution, so we can do that.
So that is the technical challenges. And what about the mental challenges that you all must be facing from the DOPs and the directors and the production and the rest of the janta?
Mental challenges is like last minute changes, on-set real-time changes. That is there, but not everything you can change it. Let's say if there are trees, not every single tree you can change and modify it on the shoot day, because sometimes we foliage paint it, so that is not allowed also, and that we cannot do.
My
Yeah.
tech lead lost his hair.
Yeah, Jayant, for you it must be completely different, right? You're propping up stages, stage build, calibration of lenses, camera tracking. How do you manage it?
See, firstly, I think the biggest challenge for us is, as I told you, at the inception stage, when we get a script. We get a script saying कि this we want to shoot in virtual production. Then, actually what happens is for us, we have to think more like a director of if tomorrow, the thing is not every film that comes to us I direct, but a lot of directors who are friends who come to us and say, this is what you've done in the earlier film, can we replicate something like that? So there's a long list of what I would say, sessions which keep on going between back and forth with us, with the production designer, with the DOP, trying to explain them, trying to figure out, tell them things will work. See, because they want a yes answer from us, like, okay, this is possible. It's very difficult to say no to them, because the thing is, if you say no to them, they always have a reference saying, oh, these guys have done it. Now, what has gone behind it, they don't know. But the thing is, to say no to them is the most difficult, because they come to you with a lot of hopes and with a lot of references in their hand saying, see, this is what people have done. Can't you do this? They have this. You don't have this. So thank you. These challenges are there. This is a main challenge for us, actually, that Inception thing. But we try and figure out. So we give them a mix, a hybrid system where, okay, do a part of this in virtual, part of it shoot like this. Then sometimes we shown them stuff that we have shot earlier using Unreal background. When they look at it, they say, oh, it looks fake. Well, okay, so see this something which we shot on IC VFX. This looks nicer. So then we give them options. Luckily, because we have done enough content, we keep the whole platter in front of them for them to decide which one works for them. But that time is the biggest challenge till you get the project, because even if they come to you, doesn't mean that project has come to you. There's a lot of back and forth that goes before we get a proper project.
And can you share, all of you actually, share an instance of a project where something was, like, you know, they came up with certain set of expectations and you exceeded it?
Recently, we did one Air India commercial, which was very, very challenging for us. So basically, we wanted to create the whole clouds, and the client said, we will create the asset. They said, we will get it done from our external vendor. We agreed to it. They got the file. The file was so heavy, it wouldn't play on our systems. It just kept on crashing. So we came up with a solution. We rendered everything overnight on multiple systems, upscaled it, and just did like an ICVFS. The client was like, fine, this is what I want. So it was just like overnight thinking. See, the thing is, what happened in the background, they're not aware of it. They came to us thinking that, okay, we have the option of changing the clouds, changing the perspective. But we rendered multiple different options for them. And in the morning, when the whole crew was on the set, they had multiple options to play with. This was a cheap trick, but it worked.
Rohit, before I come to you, Prajay, your Rado ad has been doing the rounds a lot.
Yeah.
How was your experience working on that?
So Rado, we got the VAT already from outside. So it was straightforward, no challenges, no issues with that. Just the biggest thing is they wanted to shoot at 48. So we had to shift our setup from 24 to 48 since our wall was capable, so we were able to make it. And it was straightforward.
And the sand. Did you guys actually put the sand on the stage?
Yeah.
The
That
top
was
angle
the second time
sand?
we did. First time we did already in our AQ demo shoot.
Yeah, you also had water on your stage,
Yes,
right?
that was on AQ demo. That was also another challenge to match the water waves with the virtual and real.
Yeah. Vivek, about you?
Like a project which exceeded our expectations was exactly 1 year ago. India was launching a Defense Expo in Ahmedabad. Our Prime Minister was inaugurating the event, and usually what happens is PMO wants videos like really quick. The marketing team like asks for a really quick thing. So we took about 3 days and we did entire and it was India's Defense Expo. India was launching a massive space industry is coming up in India, right? So we had to create like a lot of shots out of Earth, like satellites, India's Chandrayaan and whatnot, everything. So we did, everything was photorealistic and all done in Unreal Engine because obviously real-time rendering and space shots will be like brilliant. I'm a science fiction fan first of all. And on top of it, when I get like really good projects which are like completely science fiction based, we did a great job. It played out in, I mean, our Prime Minister inaugurated the video as well for the space thing. It came out really well, so we were happy.
That's awesome. Prajay?
I think for us it was we had a shoot that happened in Chennai, wherein there was supposed to be some kind of a virtual production part to it, which we went down and we tried to figure things out. Although we did like 10 minutes of previs, super high quality and all of that stuff, okay, still the director wanted to do some change or the other, and he wanted the actor to fall through the clouds, and he brought in a motion crane, something like a bolt, in to do that shot, which we had not envisioned at all, and we never worked with that motion crane before. So the boys had to, so they had like, luckily, to set up that motion crane, it took them about 4.5 hours or 5 hours or something, and the boys had to do an integration of Unreal with that motion crane in that 4 hours time, without the director or anybody knowing that we are actually writing a plugin on site. So that was one of the most, I think, something that we pulled off quite seamlessly, and I think they did a very good job. So very soon when the production comes live, you can see it.
Amazing. Looking forward to seeing it. AI, right? Yesterday also there was a virtual production talk, and there were people talking about AI. I know Jan plays with AI. So Jan, your experience with using AI in your work?
See, again, because advertising, we get to play a lot with AI. Because advertising is also about time. The thing is quick turnarounds. So in fact, not only us as studios, but also agencies and clients have been using AI as a main tool for stock images, for storyboard and stuff like that. Now it is, I personally feel like every day, whatever script we get or anything we get, there's a lot of AI that is involved. Means I think integration of AI is there in almost everything that we are seeing today. I don't know how it's with you guys, but for us, it is like, see, I would say, I think after the introduction of Firefly into that whole system of Adobe system, I think now it has become like a regular tool for everyone. Like, and the stuff that we are seeing coming out of Photoshop or even After Effects, which are like consumer products, I think it is there into every system, like every
I feel it's actually a boon to the advertising industry, because the amount of time they take, because the client comes and asks for, you know, can I have a product shot? Can I see the visualization of it? So it can be rendered very fast, you know, all prompt based, and you know it's much more easier for reiterations. So they don't have to sit and work all those long hours. So I feel it won't replace people, obviously, artist or whatever that is, but it's more of a boon to them. It's something like you know, they have their own PA to do stuff for them at a very quick pace.
No, actually, what has happened is for us, what I'm seeing is the storyboard artists actually find it difficult to cope up with this type of revolution that has happened. Even concept artists, I would say, those things, because the type of output that DALL-E or Midjourney is giving, it's mind-blowing. The thing is, because I've been in this industry for the last 24 years, I've never seen this type of quality, speed coming out of in seconds from stuff like this. It's extremely crazy and a tough time, I would say.
I guess we all have to adapt to AI being a very integral part of our lives moving ahead. Rohit, have you played with AI on your stage? There are some plugins for Unreal. I know
Yeah,
of
those plugins
which-
we have tried to, you just give the prompt and it will give the set to you. But so far, properly we are using AI to build the tools to automate the pipeline, more on the tech side. Let's say if there are tasks which is taking 1 hour to do, so we are using AI to write a code or something like this to make a plugin which can automate the pipeline.
Vivek?
Yeah.
I bet you have something interesting to share on this.
Yes, quite a lot. So since we are making products in the world of content creation and everything, I was just telling about Movie Collab, right? A project management software for real time. So along with that, we have built a new companion app called ScriptWiz. So ScriptWiz is basically you upload a script, it will do the shot breakdown like a director, It'll do shot breakdown along with camera angle suggestions and just like wide camera angle, this shot, this shot, this shot, using a large language model, but it is using rules, fine-tuned rules about standard rules of filmmaking. You can go edit it, whatever you want. It does shot breakdown. I have a brochure as well. Later on, I can give all of you the brochure as well. But once the shot breakdown is done, it will take to the next step of storyboard creation. Just like how we were discussing right now, it creates all the storyboards in the context of filmmaking, where it will keep character consistency, environmental consistency, and create your whole storyboards in one go. So this, and then after this data is there, then you can take it into your production management software, whatever you're using, to continue with your filmmaking process in the whole execution pipeline. And then in Movie Collab itself, which is the production management software, we are using large language models again to create something called pre-documentation. So what pre-documentation means is, let's say you start a task in filmmaking. It's usually a templated task. Usually we have already done that task like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, right? So why not that information is not available for every artist while working on the project, on the task? If we have done a Niagara particle effect using a certain template, why should it not be available right on the task, right? If that information would have been available or as a checklist or like a proper video feed and everything in one place, which is possible. Like, so that's what we have built in now. Our documentation does not stay in OneDrive or Google Drive or some random note-taking app. It'll come on the production management thing. So it's not yet released, but we are working on our own fine-tuned LLM models right now.
All the best. Interesting. And guys, whoever wants to try it, please reach out to Vivek. He's around. Prajay, I know you have been playing with AI too.
Yeah. I think on set, I think for us it's more about talent tracking because we are on the chroma side. So for us, what happens is that we have foreground layering that happens, and for that we need to know exactly where the talent is. So we use some form of AI to figure out where exactly the 3D space in which the talent is actually standing and walking around. So we can apply shadows in real time. We can apply reflections in real time. We also know when they're going behind a particular layer, or so we can then render layers in front of them. And that's where we are trying to focus more. Right now we are using it all RGB based. We are not skeleton tracking is done via the camera that is actually looking at it. But we are now trying to come up with a product that has external cameras looking at your stage and figuring out where the talent is.
Interesting. And I'm sure this discussion can go on, and even 2 hours would fall short, but we just have 9.28 minutes available. So I'm going to keep the floor open for question and answers. So please, whoever wants to shoot a question to the panelists, please feel free to do so. Oh, sorry, Praveen. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi.
Sorry, that's okay.
So we can take some more time.
Yeah, I can
Praveen.
take some questions if there are any.
No, but please feel free to just introduce yourself, what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah. Hello, everyone. I am Praveen. I'm currently senior producer at ILM, Lucasfilm. So I've been in this industry for almost 23 years now, primarily doing visual effects. So done work in a lot of my studios, have taught a lot for about 7-8 years, and then moved into creative work and then into production now for the last 10-12 years. So that's about me. So thanks for having me. Nice to meet you all. So yeah, any questions or anything you want to ask, I can probably 8 more minutes. Anything I can throw some light, happy to do that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. So my question is around AI. So is AI reducing the market size or the growth of the market? Let's say you have to deliver X with 100 rupees. Now your client is selling with the AI, you deliver us 2X with 100, get more efficient. So is that happening because of AI? I mean, your output is increasing in terms of delivering, but the value is not increasing. I mean, you're delivering 2X with the same 100, So is that happening, that the market size is reducing because you are supposed to get more efficient with AI? Is that happening?
I would frame that a little bit differently, because the way I would see it is, see, end of the day, you want to make your client happy, right? How much of effort are you going to put in order to get him his dream project that he is visualizing? Coming back to what Jayant was saying, using Midjourney and DALI and all of that stuff, especially in the advertising side, you as much as the concept artist comes and concept arts whatever he wants to do, but if you're showing him some live examples which are treated by generative AI and coming up with amazing pictures and all of that stuff, it makes your life super, super easy. But then that can't go into print, because you don't know where, because we know that all these are trained based on some models in which already existing. So it can't go to print because somebody will sue you at some point of the time. So you have to, that's just used as a concept to show your client that, guys, these are the 10 options you can have in half a day, which would have taken you 1 week to do the job. Okay, so that way you guys, so from a production perspective or from an agency perspective, it just makes your life much easier, I feel. That's my take on it. But it doesn't mean that it'll shorten your.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right. Like, human input is extremely crucial in the final product, or else it can't deliver. But the way I am seeing it is, the studios which needed 100 people or 500 people to do a job, it will gradually head into creator economy, just like YouTube economy, where everyone will become a creator with absolute control on doing content creation, where the 10 people job might become a 1-person job in his laptop using cloud computing, maybe 2028, but it looks like it's going that way with using game engines to generate your prompt-based videos and create your final content.
Totally agree to this.
Yeah, just to add to that, I mean, definitely I think it's going to make it more efficient. But end of the day, who is giving the commands for, like, as I say, like whatever you want creatively? Like, I want to see Alia Bhatt as Sita, or but that thought is yours, right? It's not the computer's thought. It is your thought. So what you're thinking is more important than it's just a machine. So it will only give you it can make resumes for you. It can do a lot of things for you. But what is the resume? End of the day is what you have, what inputs you give. So your inputs are the key. That's what you need to remember. Yeah, as they said, the efficiency is going to be faster. The iterations will be more. You can get more iterations, whether it's an image or whatever, the creative script, whatever you're talking about. You get better iterations. So you can do multiple iterations. That's the thing. But end of the day, it is one of the things I see a lot of people asking, and especially the younger generation, what I noticed is, AI is great, but it's only a tool. Just see it as a tool. Don't think that it's going to replace us, or it's going to make you efficient, and which is a good thing.
Hi, sir. I come from a writing background. So I have a question about this idea stealing issues. I was using one of the automated tool in order to write some script. I was just taking its guidance. And I found like it is giving its own ideas, which is good. But I'm not sure if it is being stolen from some others' ideas, because, after, like he said, cloud computing is existing. So what happens is everyone would try to write everything in a laptop on a cloud. So how are we going to, is there any scope of restricting that, or how are we going to face the challenges? Because writing is the main backbone for the entire thing which is happening everywhere. So what are the challenges that we are facing on that, and how are we going to come out of it?
So I think, just to start off, I think the key thing is when we are writing, again, just take it as a tool. It's just correcting your language, and probably it's throwing some inputs based on your thought process. So what you need to understand is the more you're going to use, it's just like social media, right? It's going to give you the ads what you want. It's the same thing, right? YouTube is going to show you the videos what you like. You like a X party or a Y party, it will show you the same content. So it's what you're looking for is giving it back to you. So you can always challenge the machine. And the key thing is that what I can tell you here is, at ILM, we had an interesting presentation about the use of AI. One of the things we kind of understood is, can we expose our proprietary tools to the off-the-shelf AI tools or not? Now, there is a challenge for that, because if we expose our proprietary tools to the existing AI softwares, then what it does is it will learn from how we do things. And are we ready for it or not is totally left to ILM to do it. It's the same thing with you. So do you want to be exposed to the media or the whole world of AI or not? It's your choice. So the more you do it every day, it's going to learn about you. How you write, how you conceive the story, what kind of stories you like. That's what, maybe I won't like the stories you like. So yeah, it all depends on, so your simple thing is, it is learning from what you are doing.
So for us, I had the same question to Microsoft Azure team and OpenAI team and Google Cloud teams, because we are dealing with a sensitive topic here, which is data is getting uploaded to cloud. Is my data safe, or what is happening? So all these large language models are like black boxes. They're taking input and they're going out, like pretty much a black box, right? Now, even in ChatGPT, if you go into the settings, you'll see the option, use my data for training or don't use my data for training. So you do get that control. So what Azure guys and all these guys told me was, hey, you know what? There are a bunch of lawsuits going on in US. We are safe for now. Nothing has happened. Everybody claims that all these large language models are trained on open source data. Like they have taken Game of Thrones authors' data to train large language models and everything. So all these things, but they are saying that our large language models are like safe from law and cases and everything. So we are just going by that word as well. If we have to make an API call for them, because we have a fine-tuned model, which then prepares our prompt to go into their models, right? So we also have to play the game safe. So we mention all of those exact GDPR compliances and everything in our workflow as well. Unless they get sued, we won't get sued. That's how we are thinking right now.
So I just have one last question, because we have really run out of time. So if anyone else wants to, Nandan, you were going to ask some question. Cool. Okay, honest, I used ChatGPT earlier in the day, yesterday, to think about questions for this panels. Of course, this was very impromptu, so just be very honest about it. You have one last question, please. And this is the last question, so yeah.
So I was envisioning a situation wherein might be in the future, I'm not sure how far it is, so just wanted to know, are we progressing in that route? I was envisioning a movie vending machine, which is like you put in a script and you get an output of 2 hours or 1.5 hours. Are we progressing towards that?
I mean, for me, yeah, it is happening. There is a Twitch channel which is generating continuous content. You can even go right now and search in Twitch, Movie Forever, something, that's the name of it. It's just playing content from last 1.5 years. It's just generating continuously content. It has animation, it has story, it has sarcasm. It's basically taking everyday news as input and then making sarcasm out of it, like a sitcom. That's how it is. It's happening already. It's just they don't have a lot of environments or characters or anything.
One more step further, there's already an AI tool. You can put in a script, you get a whole video out of it. It gathers all the images from all the stock footage libraries and creates a movie for you and gives it out to you. It's already out.
Maybe another 5 years from now, maybe when all of us put our heads into it and all the industry puts head into it, maybe that can happen. But again, it's again like what Sir here was mentioning. It's also more based on what prompts you give. Because that can't think for you, you have to put the thinking in. So the first, what the script that you write and you put in, it only can think based on that.
Oh, I think that's the end of this panel. Thank you.